Kia ora, welcome in Virgo. Virgo, this is your reading for the full moon lunar eclipse, which is clearly still reverberating. And I did these readings this time for the full moon a day after the actual 28th, and prior to that, in the new moon before that, we did it a day before the 7th of October. Now, there's a reason for that, but I won't go into it. But because we were really talking about at that new moon solar eclipse time on the 6th of October, we were talking about having a very firm seat, and there was sort of a riding analogy that learning to ride, in the English fashion, a firm seat, heels down, toes forward, thumbs up, kind of keeping our centre. And as events played out over the time, that sandwich time between those eclipses, I can kind of see why that was coming up. So, Virgo, we've got your cards out. Thank you for joining me. So let's get into it. The storyline today, if you haven't joined me before, thanks for coming in. We always clarify, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check out other titles that might stand out. And I thank you, people that do come and join me and subscribe. Thank you for that. Thank you for liking and commenting. Let's get into it. We come out, Virgo, with a card called the Devil. Now, with this card, we all know it is about, yes, it's about addictions, it's about dependencies, habits, cycling, thought patterns, things that we get very attached to. But at the same time, in the Thoth deck, this card is speaking about enjoying life, all the fruits of life, all the fruits of the physical, dense world that we enjoy, be it people, food, whatever it is, So we've got two things here. I would say, considering we're looking at the other three cards here, that maybe we're shifting, changing our habits, our routines. It could be as simple as that. But anyway, let's keep going. And we will clarify after speaking of this. I also have a rock mineral crystal card that we pull up at the end. I don't know what it is. It's face down. See if it pertains to this reading. Virgo. So we start out here with the Devil and all those thought forms that we create for ourselves, which are entities unto themselves. They're as much alive as we are, and we can shift them and change them up at any given time. We come next to the Four of Cups here. The Four of Cups, the fours are all incredibly stable cards, very, very stable, and water is not for too long, So we've got this card, it's called Luxury. It's a moment. It's a moment in time. And, like every moment is a moment in time, there is something about this card that presents us with possibly an offering or an opportunity that we are possibly hesitant in taking and accepting, or simply that we don't see it as an opportunity, as a possible opportunity. With the Four of Cups, it comes from a place possibly we don't feel that we need it, or we don't recognize it. Let's just put it that way. We then come to the Five of Wands. Conflict. Simple, straightforward conflict. Pushing, whether it's other people's boundaries, beating that mat to see what lies underneath, if there's anything there. We're we're figuring out, we've got our sonar working to see what's out there that we don't necessarily see on the surface. There might be some conflictual, it could be about, addictions or just conflict with people around you, or conflict that you're seeing in the world. Different for different people, Virgo, but there is a conflictual flavour here. And it's interesting with the Five of Wands, because we see that fifth wand acting as a kind of suppressant, or a agent of friction, you could say, for those four wands, the double 11s, the happy home. It could be something in your home base that there is a little bit of conflict going on, differences of opinion, whatever it happens to be. The great thing about this, though, is that we then have the Ace of Swords cutting through all the bullshit. It is a gift coming through, and we give it form. So it's speaking of a large level of clarity, of being able to see, very clearly, certainly what it is that your needs are. So let's clarify. Virgo, let's clarify. What's the devil speaking about here for lovely Virgos? For Virgos, generally speaking. We get the Fool. The Fool. This is, a shedding moment of release, of a new beginning, of a new start. Maybe you are shifting up those narratives in your own head about who you are, what you are, all of that. There's a desire with that. I'll get another card to take off anew, on a new journey, new beginning. Messages coming through. Maybe there is some Virgos out there looking at what they've got, selling their homes, taking a big leap of faith. It could be many of these things. We get the Page coming up here also. Page of Pentacles, reliable, does serves the messages. So there might be messages coming through that set you off on not a hermit's journey, Virgo, which you're probably familiar with, but more of a fool's journey. Throwing it up in the air, leaping off that cliff, not literally, metaphorically, of course. And then we have the Two of Wands. So we've got two wands here. We know what our resources are. We know what we can do with them. And we're actually thinking about that, because there is a choice to be made. So let's look at the Four of Cups here for you, Virgo. Four of Cups. We have a nice balance. Yes, there will be a choice made, and we've got this beautiful Queen of Swords. You are ruled by Mercury, dear Virgo, as an earth sign even. There's a mercurial quality to your world. Queen of Swords, Queen of the Air. No mucking around. There's no emotion in that card, and the Queen of Swords. There was another reading that had these two cards coming out together also. I think it might have been, I can't remember, but it's a really powerful combination. So we've got the Queen of Swords cutting, knife through hot butter. We make decisions very easily. We are very discerning. We don't get swayed by emotion. But we also have this really creative aspect, and a very loving, kind of nurturing aspect, as well. So these, the Empress and the Queen of Swords hand in hand is an interesting combination, and it's a very powerful combination. Five of Wands, we're clarifying with another Queen. So we think, what we're dealing with a lot of fire. No wonder there's strife. No wonder there's the Five of Wands here, because we're dealing with a lot of fire and air. And what does that do? Well, it whips things up, doesn't it? Especially for fire signs. If you are dealing with a fire sign, you might want to check out some of the other fire sign readings here. So, Queen of Rods, actually check out Sagittarian reading. I think that there was that similar thing there. Queen of Wands, we're clarifying. Five of Wands, the card of conflict. So, this Queen is very ego-driven. These could be personalities within yourself. I do see there's another aspect you're dealing with, Virgo. Aspects of yourself we're talking about here, or if it is someone else also that you're dealing with. This is an ego-driven Queen, which is great. It's part of it, because we need an ego, to be able to live in this world as it is. But we also need to understand it, and understand it with a large level of wisdom and with a large level of objectivity, because otherwise it will really cause us quite a lot of shit actually going on in our life, in a lot of ways. So we understand our ego. It doesn't diminish our power. This is what I'm getting from this. There's not a diminishment. There's an increase. I mean, look at that. Two queens with the Empress in the middle. It's like the Holy Trinity, of woman power, from the nurturing to the, to the giving birth, to the nurture, to the cessation of something, to the cutting off of something in order to start anew. It's like the three fates, isn't it? Anyway, what are we looking at, Virgo? We're looking at this Ace of Swords, which really does cut through any confusion that you may be experiencing at this time. Can we clarify that? Yeah. And the more people that we are involved with, certainly in collaborative efforts, the more conflict does come up, and it is good. Conflict resolution is a skill. As I said before, understand the ego. To clarify this beautiful ace, we get the beautiful Three of Discs, building a new foundation, working in unison with others. People are our resources. We want to work with them. We want to resolve conflict. We want to, this reading, it could be a template for all of wars and things of that nature going on in the world as we speak, but we won't go there today, Virgo. Let's get a Brian Froud Pixie and Fairy for you for a wee glimmer, as the Pixie and Fairies give us often. When we're swirling around there in our world, in our environments with people and all this and that and everything else, and trying to get stuff done and blah blah blah, it really is important to to understand our drives, the basis of our reactions, understanding where a lot of this comes from. It takes quite a lot of effort, but it's about self-responsibility, isn't it, Virgo? So we get two cards here. Three, another three, the Guardian at the gate. Look at this glorious pathway there's just a little tight bit, just a wee tight spot. You may feel that you're kind of moving through that right now. We know it won't last. You pop out the other side. You pop out the other side. And this has been going on for quite a long time. Maybe you feel that you've been in a very long kind of cycle. And it is, you want, for some of you, you want a sort of level of closure of something in order to move on to the next thing. I do suggest watching that Sagittarian video, full moon video. And then we have beautiful Sylvanus of the forest, this forest earthy king or queen, whatever way you want to look at it, paradoxically removing the mask of truth to reveal the truth. And in the doing of that, what do we see here? Again, a singular sword. And we also see a lit up sacral area where the navel is. Now you will feel that as an active energy point. It's all lit up here. There's a really great flow from the exposure of whatever that truth is, you know. So that's a beautiful thing. And last but not least, I'm turning it over. It is a wonderful stone, gum, resin. We have amber, Virgo. Harmony, home protection, calm, and attracts love. So carry that in your mind's eye. Wear it if you have some over the week. And I hope you got something from this reading today, Virgo. Thanks again for joining me. And take good care and have a great week. Ka kite.